I'll open another one.
And welcome back to another episode of Two Guys Small Talk.
This is episode 13, the well-endowed episode.
I am TJ Wasiuk.
I'm Evan O'Neill.
And I'm Chris Dopkant.
Welcome.
Welcome, Chris. Thank you for joining us.
To the show.
I know it's a little late on your end. You're on the East Coast right now in South Carolina, but appreciate you taking your time to be on the film.
Yeah, we appreciate your patience. If this is the correct take, this is actually our second start. We got about 5 minutes into it, and then Skype crashed. But so we're here with Chris Dopkant. He is a U.S. Army Sergeant, NCO of Operations and Planning. Chris, tell us a little bit more about that.
All right, so I've been a sergeant for I'll say about 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. I've been a sergeant for a while. About to move up pretty soon.
When did you enlist?
I enlisted back in 2008.
Okay,
back at the
right
tail end of the war. Yeah.
Right, yeah, right before I did. I entered the DEP program in October, and then I went to basic training in January of 2009.
Nice. Yeah. Back when basic training was still sort of difficult.
Yeah, back before soldiers and airmen were allowed to have cell phones on the weekends.
Right. The fuck? Run around with their headphones in their ear? Like, the fuck happened? You
Fucking
kidding me?
Degenerates, man.
Walking around with Bluetooth? Walking around with fucking Bluetooth and uniform? I'd have punched the shit out of you. Like, kick a mud hole in your fucking chest.
I'm waiting on the day that we have a conflict and I can see a soldier's Facebook Live video.
Oh my god. Can you imagine
the
that?
Fucking firing out. It'd be like this.
OPSEC.
For sure. They're firing out here. It's getting crazy. Oh God, it's getting real.
Hold on. Let me check the comments.
That's what it'll look like.
That'll be the next real drama series. Is some dudes on Facebook or YouTube streaming it.
And they'll have the dog face on. They'll be like, "It's fucking getting crazy."
Oh man! All right, Chris. So
I guess
so
continue.
you already told me and TJ a little bit about us, but you mentioned earlier you've been to a lot of places. Where have you been again?
All right, so I was originally born in Texas, and I was there for about 3 years. Well, I was about there for about 3 years before we moved to New York, then West Virginia, and then Louisiana, then Wisconsin, and back to Texas, then to Arizona, and then I graduated in Arizona, and then back to Texas when I joined the military, and then back to Arizona because that's where they fucking sent me, and I was like, all right, cool. And then from there, I've been to Kuwait, Kazakhstan, Afghanistan, Korea, Germany, England, and one other place. What the fuck was the other place? Some other fucking desert place that I didn't like.
Bahrain? Probably.
Oh, Iraq.
Oh,
that
shit.
was the other place
forget?
that I just liked. That was it.
Baghdad. Fucking. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
It's a waste.
It was Baghdad after the fighting though, so it was okay. You know, it wasn't as bad. You just got the dirty looks, but none of the fucking hurt.
Oh, God.
They already got their asses whooped, so they're like, all right, we're just gonna look at you real fucking mean, you know, like that guy you whooped his ass before, but you still gotta see him every day, and he just kind of glares at you, like, what are you gonna do?
Step up.
Right?
Go
you
round
don't
two.
want these fucking hands.
All right, man. So go ahead, TJ.
Oh, you said you were you've been a sergeant for what, 5 years?
Yeah, just about 5 years. Pretty
That's
close.
a good amount of time for an NCO. I feel like.
Well,
you've been an NCO for like a half a decade or a decade. That means you would be a great senior NCO. Just saying.
well, he recently just got that position. What, 2 years ago, right?
Well, I just recently got the operations and planning NCO position
That's
2 years ago, but I've been a sergeant for about 5. When I first became a sergeant, I didn't know dick. I didn't know nothing.
So right now you're an NCOIC.
Yes.
Yeah. That's okay. All right. Cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And
For those of you not privy to that knowledge, NCOIC is the non-commissioned officer in charge. So basically, he's probably the lead of his shop or his work center, something like
I'm actually the lead of the unit next to the first sergeant and the commander. like it'd be like CEO, executive, and then me down there as like some kind of fucking executive supervisor or something.
District supervisor, district manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good role. It's a good role. It translates well in the real world. I tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Good leadership
that
position.
I go back to it.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Chris. How many times have you ever done the sex?
Man, I don't think there's enough fingers and toes on this video. There might be enough fingers and toes in the two guys group, but I don't think there's enough fingers and toes in this particular video.
I could count the amount of times on one hand, and that would be like this, because I don't think I've ever had sex.
You're a fucking liar.
I don't think. All right, so, TJ, ask him how many tattoos he has.
Oh well, good thing you already asked him that. Chris, do you have any tattoos? I already know the answer, but do you have any?
I do not have any tattoos. I have zero
skin.
Yeah,
you're pure blood.
No,
you're going to heaven, dude.
Who else didn't have tattoos that was on? Was it
nobody?
Ness?
Ness? Oh, yeah. I don't think.
I don't think we asked him though. We forgot to ask him.
Yeah, because I forgot to ask him about sex.
Yeah.
Sorry. Shout out to Ness. We're gonna have you back on.
Hey.
You're a trooper, dude. We appreciate your live videos.
Oh, yeah.
Much love, dude. Much love.
Very active member.
All right. Well.
Okay. I was gonna go into what I was pretty big in the tech world today rather. So this morning, Nintendo randomly announced on their Nintendo website and also on Twitter and their Facebook that they're coming out with, the Super NES Classic. We all knew it was coming, but we just didn't know when. It was all, rumored, because of course they're going to make a Super NES,
sequel.
They had to. It was such a big success, even though they didn't realize it was going to be a success.
They had surprisingly low expectations for the NES Classic Mini, which was like obscene. Like, they only produced so many of them, thinking that this is going to be a waste of our time, and they've already got collector's value.
Oh, easily! I saw on Amazon just to buy it is like $200 plus now.
Yeah, from some scalper, dude, because it retailed for what, like 60?
Something like that.
Yeah, Super Nintendo is going to be retailing for about $79.99. They're making more models than they did for the
they had the European
NES
edition.
Classic. Yeah, but they're not making too much more.
Oh, we're talking about as many for sale. You're saying? What do you mean?
Did TJ freeze?
What?
TJ froze again, I think.
That's what I'm talking about.
I can hear you guys.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Hey.
Oh, there he goes. I heard something.
Oh,
I'm hearing some stuff.
Am I good?
He's not moving. He's not moving.
Am I good? Can you hear me?
Fucking silence got him.
Hello?
Yeah, TJ, we can hear you, dude.
Okay.
But kind of.
Well, is it cutting out?
There's like a glitch in the Matrix right now. There's about to be a black cat that walks by 2 times.
I have a black cat. Oh, I heard a bird.
Can you
TJ,
hear me?
are you still recording? Are you still recording video?
Yeah, it's still working.
All right, well then let's just roll. It'll catch up.
That's weird.
That's what I'm talking about.
You guys are okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're starting to move around a little bit more now.
Okay. Well, anyways,
I think you're coming down from the Molly.
Yo, Skype. We need to talk Skype about this. Come on now.
Come on, dude.
It's like, for real, Microsoft. I don't understand these issues we've been having lately. But anyways.
But hey,
go ahead.
Yeah. Let me get like a little shout out to this. All right. So I think the Super Nintendo is honestly probably a great deal, right? Like $80. You're getting a mini Super Nintendo that comes with 2 controllers.
Yeah.
21 different classic games, and they're games that you want to play.
Well,
and they're multiplayer games too. Like I saw Mario Kart on there. I think I saw a couple of
Street Fighter Hyper.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Street Fighter 2 Hyper.
Yeah.
They're releasing the unreleased Star Fox 2.
What?
So
really?
The reason why it was canceled, I read up on it, was because it was coming out around the same time the Nintendo 64 was going to be coming out.
Yeah,
so that's why they canceled it. They said they were like 95% done with the game, and they canceled it because they didn't want it to look bad, because they wanted Star Fox to have like the highest graphics as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I can barely play Star Fox 64 now. It's just like frustrating. And then like the original Star Fox, I played it way, way too late, man. It was just like super confusing to tell what I was looking at.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know they're classic games and people had a lot of fun playing them, and it probably wouldn't have been so mind bending back in like the 90s whenever it came out.
Because now 3D games are totally different, a lot easier to control.
Yeah, it changes your perspective, it changes your expectations.
Because back then you didn't really see 3D games. Nowadays everything's 3D, you know?
Yeah. So to continue on my point, I think you should look into it if you're a collector, if you truly want it, if you feel like it's a fair way to get that handheld Super Nintendo playing games like Earthbound, playing games like Super Mario,
Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 3.
Contra 3.
Are they gonna have it on there?
Playing these, and then playing like these awesome. It's got several good, awesome RPGs on it. If you want that experience, go for it. Otherwise, there are other options, that don't involve paying $80.
Exactly. A lot of people
Pirate those emulators, baby.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people are saying, why don't you just get a Raspberry Pi and then emulate all the games?
Yeah, and you're gonna continue to have that, I think, until we move into the age where we start truly distributing ISOs again. So like GameCube games, not as easy, not as like it's not as easy to program an emulator for that as it is to just run something that's like 64, 32, or 8-bit.
Yeah. So definitely Nintendo 64 is going to have one probably next year. I could see it.
I don't think it'll happen next year. I honestly feel like
you think they'll have to run it out SNES?
I think they'll wait probably 3 or 4 years if they even continue to invest in it. For all we know, they could be taking a loss.
I don't know, because Super Nintendo and they're putting Super Mario World on it.
Yeah,
they're gonna put Super Mario World on it. I don't think they're taking a loss. They said
they're only gonna make so many of them.
They didn't say that. They said they would make more this time than they did.
But still, only so many of them. Yeah. They're not gonna just continuously produce.
They're having they're probably gonna do double the amount, but it's still gonna be like a set number. They'll probably do like double. Then they're like how many were sold? Like 3,000 or some fucking low ass number for the fucking NES.
It was more than that, but definitely a low ass number.
No joke. If they still made the classic NES ones, I might would own one by now.
Oh yeah.
The Super Nintendo one, I'm not gonna try to fight anybody to stand in the line or anything like that to buy one. And that's just how I am with games,
it's
especially
just your preference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if I can pre-order it, I'll get it. But if I can't pre-order it, all right, fuck it.
Yeah, if I gotta go stand outside, I don't do that.
Oh hell no! For just that, no thank you.
We live in the digital age, baby. We don't do that shit no more.
No, I could probably get Super Nintendo on my phone right now. I don't need to go there to go get a fucking Super Nintendo.
And then you know what? I was telling TJ earlier, man. I feel like Nintendo values their products a little bit too much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Have an appreciation for your employees. Maybe they charge as much as they do on like Virtual Console and for all these remakes because they're trying to pay off royalties to the developers. But maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I'm just saying I don't want to pay $10 for a game that's like 25 years old. I'm just saying I don't want to pay $10 for a game that's in general unless it's good.
I'm not dropping 10 for 16 bits. I wouldn't drop 5 for 8. I'd be like, you can kiss my ass. I'll give you 3. I'll give you 3 for 8.
You know what? You can put together all of the classic like Pokemon games, right? Like the Color or the Game Boy, the Color, and the Advanced games, and I ain't gonna pay over $25 for that.
Oh
shit.
Heck no! Yeah. Even though it'd be fun, I would.
Yeah, absolutely, it'd be fun. But you know what, man? Like, you're not gonna price tag my nostalgia like that.
No,
that's what they're.
I got some respect.
They're playing on that, But then you see
Sega all the way up to Crystal.
Sega over here is releasing like a majority of their games slowly, but they're releasing them for free. I mean, if you just have to deal with the ads, but if you don't want to deal with the ads, you just pay $1, right? But
they're releasing modded versions of their games.
Yeah,
like I downloaded I downloaded Sonic the Hedgehog the other day because I saw that they were gonna release 5 games at the launch, and then more games like every 2 weeks or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I downloaded Sonic the Hedgehog. I sat there, I beat the first area, the first zone in like 50 seconds. I'm like, I need to brush up on that speed. But I could I saw where I could eventually unlock Tails and Knuckles, and they weren't in the original Sonic, so that's cool.
No, which I think they stuffed all 3 together. I think they stuffed 1, 2, and 3 together.
No, it's just the one. I think.
Is it only Sonic Classic?
Yeah, it's just the original.
Yeah, if you took the first 3 Sonic games, anything that's still under like 300 megabytes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
I think they stuffed all 3 together. If you can get all of them, I think they.
Well, what I think it is I don't know if you guys had a Sega Genesis, but they had the attachment. We could attach
I had that.
we could play with Knuckles.
Oh, I had that.
So I think that's pretty much what it is. Is when you attach the attachment, you can play as Knuckles on Sonic 2. I think Sonic 1 allowed it. I'm not sure. But I know Sonic 2 definitely.
No, Sonic 1 didn't allow it.
See, back in the day,
I
thought was the craziest shit was doing like the Game Shark.
Yeah.
And then Sonic and Knuckles, and then Sonic, right? But then I see where people do like a stack of 5 or something. I'm like, what?
That was the generation of stacking and connecting, because even like the Sega Genesis had the Mega Drive or whatever next to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they fucked up. That was what Sega's problem was, man, is that they were trying to compete with the console market and like the computer market. So they're coming out with too many like new consoles and stuff like that.
Way too many. They spread themselves thin, and then people got confused on
yeah, consoles. Man, I remember getting like a Genesis in like 94 or 95, and that shit was already like outdated at the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You were too old.
Because that's when like the Saturn came out, right?
Yeah, I grabbed the Sega CD, and you know what? That shit was fucking tight. However, it got blown out of the water by PlayStation by the time it came out. I had it for like 5 months, and then Christmas hit, and PlayStation, and then I was like, well,
yeah. You know what?
Bye.
I had a PlayStation growing up, and when I was like 23 or 24, somebody gave me a Sega CD, and I was like, yo, this shit came out like 5 months before the PlayStation. This shit sucks.
Yeah. They had some fun games on there, but they could have done better. They had some good games. They just could have done better. Or they could have released it earlier. They fucked up trying to drop it with PlayStation at the same time. They could have got way more playability if they dropped it like a year and a half earlier. Then people would have been all over Sega's dick. And then Sega could have actually made, what was it? Didn't they make the Dreamcast too?
Yeah, that failed so hard. It was ahead of its time.
It failed so hard. It was way too ahead of its time.
But not too much.
Like,
because it had internet connectivity,
Yeah. But you know what?
GameCube had
Nintendo had like online.
Phantasy Star Online.
No, yeah, they had like online shit back in the early '90s on the Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah, okay.
There was like a thing that you connected to it.
I think you could connect.
Yeah, it was like a thing. And you connect the Ethernet cable to it.
Yeah, and you get to like post bulletin boards. It took you forever to type on those things. You're sitting there like trying to make a bulletin board, and it take you a month.
That was groundbreaking, though, man. I mean, like, yeah, it was probably like 10 years behind the curve on the on internet in general, but I mean, early '90s.
But
message
they should have done that on the GameCube, because GameCube probably would have been better with it.
GameCube. Really, the only thing that stretched its power was Phantasy Star Online.
For online.
Yeah, that was really the only thing. And you know what, man? I used to obsess over that game.
I know.
Because I would read my Nintendo Powers, and I never got to fucking play it.
It was fun.
I bought the broadband adapter thing that you connect to the bottom of. At a BX, at a Base Exchange in like 2009, 2010, because I saw it and it was like $14. I said, "Whoa, gotta get it!" So
wasn't there a way to connect the Double Dash to it, or was it seriously Was it seriously just that game?
I think it was
Phantasy Star Online was fucking garbage. All right, they messed up the servers.
Okay, I guess I never played online. I just played single player and multiplayer split screen type of deal, or not split screen. It was all that same screen. but it was very repetitive as fuck. But it was still a fun, like little like Japanese RPG, and I wasn't like really into that before I played that. I never played like a 3D Japanese RPG other than Pokemon or Final Fantasy.
You know what? Pokemon aside, I think the best RPG that I've ever played was the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
For the DS?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
These were fun.
The first one, I played that one. That was fun.
I think the best 8-bit RPG I ever played was the Super Mario RPG.
And that'll be on. That's 16-bit.
7 stars.
Yeah.
That'll be on the
Super Nintendo. Yeah,
that'll
that's
be
on
on
the
it.
thing on the Super Nintendo Classic Mini, whatever the fuck they want to call it. But you know what? For them retailing it at $80 and giving you 21 games, that's where I'm saying, like, I think they might value themselves a little bit too
that
much.
Is pretty high.
Pretty high for 21 games.
But also, I was telling Evan, their games are like $5 a pop on Virtual Console, so that would be like $100. But still, $80 for all these old games. I mean, yes, the games are great, but they're over 20 years old.
They're all first party games, aren't they?
Yeah, they're ancient,
not
and
Street Fighter.
some of them are.
I mean, I know I saw
Not
like
Super
F-Zero
Mario
on there.
Super Ghosts and Ghouls is on there.
Is that not
Really?
a Nintendo
Super
game?
Ghosts and Ghouls?
No,
Yeah, I know they got Super Metroid. They got Star Fox.
A lot of them though are first party. Just maybe like 4 are not. Like there's Secret of Mana,
Yeah,
Mega Man
obviously.
X.
Oh, they got the Secret of Mana?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
that's two.
Wait. Mega Man X was Capcom,
Yeah, and then Contra 3,
which at the
on
time
there.
was a second party Nintendo company, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Capcom was making anything for Sega yet. I think. Oh, I don't know, man. Never mind. I don't want to misspeak. I don't know.
No.
I don't know about Marvel versus Capcom and
Street Fighter, man. That's Capcom, right? Or am I stupid?
Yeah. Well, Capcom branched out with Street Fighter when they produced the first Street Fighter. That's when they started to branch out from Super Nintendo, and then right after that, they started making all their
they saw
games
those
like,
numbers.
like
They
Streets
saw
of
those
Rage.
numbers, the sales numbers.
Yeah,
on
well,
Super Nintendo.
Street Fighter was fucking huge.
Oh,
Street Fighter was
Dude, I will
crazy.
still fight anybody to this day. If you want to throw down, meet me on Street Fighter 2, dude. Beat me on it.
Let's go. Street Fighter.
School
Let's
you.
go.
Okay.
Street Fighter 2 Alpha. Let's go.
So get this, guys. So they're coming out with a new Street Fighter edition for the Switch. Street Fighter 2. So there's going to be 2 Street Fighters in the same year. They only updated...
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. That's confusing and probably not a good move.
They updated the graphics so that you can play the old version or the updated graphics, and you can like customize the characters, but just the colors, and it's just like a shitty way. Just by looking at these videos, the gameplay, it's just like a shitty way of customizing the characters. It's almost like switching from pink Kirby to red Kirby.
Well, let me tell you this, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. As fun as
And it's a full price game.
Like,
it's a full price game.
as fun as
Yeah.
games like Injustice and Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Oh, the replay values?
As fun as they are, man, they do not give a fuck about you as a consumer. They want your money.
All that DLC?
They will charge you $10 to download a character that's technically on that disc that you already paid $60 for.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Eventually, I'm gonna find out how to get into the BIOS. I will figure it out straight out of the Xbox, and then I'm gonna just give that information out for free. I might even charge people half price to unlock their characters for them, and start making some money off that shit. Like, oh, they're selling it for 10. I'll unlock them for 5. What are they gonna do? It's already
Be right
on
back,
there.
gentlemen.
Uh-oh.
Little intermission?
Little intermission. He's got to get the next brewski.
Or something
The
else.
next the Brewchowski.
He was taking a little breather.
Yeah, it was a breather.
little bit of the devil's lettuce. All right.
That was my meth pipe.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, that's even better.
That's how
There you
Louisiana
go.
he is.
What's up, Walter White? What's up, Walter White?
I am the danger.
So Evan, you wanted to talk about something?
Yeah, man. I just want to make you guys aware. I kind of screwed up, man. I waited a little bit too late to do my research, but um, about a month or two ago, it came to light that Bernie Sanders' wife may or may not have gotten a loan for a college that failed and then kept the money.
She was the president of that college
Yeah.
at the time.
So I went to do my research today, and the information that I got regarding it is very, very limited. I mean, I'm talking about like the only sources that I can find with a shred of credibility right now are like Huffington Post and Washington Post. And those are not two sites that I regularly quote from or relate to. I feel like it's a little odd that that's the reason that's happened. I feel like a month ago, whenever I looked it up, there was a lot more information, and I sat there and said to myself, I'm going to sit on this. So I sat on it, and it just came up to relevancy. And I'm not really sure what happened. I feel like yeah, man.
I mean,
because this like Huffington Post and this Washington Post article, they're like saying, "Oh yes, no big deal." Like,
well,
I
guess tell us what you know, and then I'll tell you what I read, because I read a little bit of it today when I was at work.
That she had requested money for school in Vermont. The school failed and is now closed. And I think, if I remember correctly, it's at the investigation phase right now. And it's been the investigation.
Yeah, they recently got a lawyer before they didn't have a lawyer for it.
You know what? Yeah, go ahead.
Because I guess they didn't think it was like that big of a deal, but now it went to the federal court.
Yeah.
So it was a $10 million loan, and she said she got some loans from other like donations, and apparently those people didn't donate, or they like overcompensated, or she said they paid like a certain amount, but they didn't have those funds. Like one of them was some Catholic diocese, another one was something else. I don't remember, but I remember one of them was a Catholic diocese, and they said they were going to pay a certain amount, but they didn't have all the funds for that, or they didn't have like the time frame that they wanted it paid in. They were going to do like payment plan or something towards the school. Does that sound right? Is that what you read?
Yeah, more or less. It's like that, but it's like impossible to find some information about it right now that's not like a hard bias in their favor.
I mean, when you got the money, you can make the bias in your favor. Bernie's got the money. You see the car he's been driving. His wife, you think he's going to let his wife go down like that? No.
Okay, so another issue. Okay, so CNN had to fire a couple of its employees.
What?
For fake news.
No shit.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They put out a hit piece on Trump and his associates. I guess what they did was last week they lied about finding some connections between Russians and Trump and his associates, and they had like no ground to stand upon.
Oh, is that the thing that happened last week, where they said they had evidence of hacking, but they couldn't prove it though?
Yeah,
it's okay. Let me read what Zero Hedge has said. A few days ago, we noted that CNN was forced to retract one of their bombshell Russian collusion stories when it was apparently revealed that the whole thing was nothing more than their latest anonymously sourced fake news debacle. Like most CNN stories on the topic, this one carried a salacious title. Congress was investigating a Russian investment fund with ties to Trump and officials, end quotes, which implied some nefarious plot by the Trump administration to stage a coup in the United States. So what they did was they lied, dude. They lied. And I don't know. I don't know how CNN works, right? I'm not in over there on the ground. I don't know how it works on the floor.
They don't have like a fact checker or people that fact check.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because they're firing the editor. They're firing the editor. So they're probably firing the dude responsible.
Yeah, all I want to know is why
that dude probably got caught up.
He had been the same editor that allowed them to post that BuzzFeed article.
Yeah.
Dude. So I mean, all right. If you're watching CNN for your news, stop. If you're watching Fox for your news, stop. MSNBC, CBS, stop doing it. Okay, it's very real that they have an agenda. It's to the point where they have to take their extreme agenda players and fire them. Where they have to fire Kathy Griffin. Honestly, if you asked me about Kathy Griffin, I'd be like, man, whatever. It's not a good joke.
Bad
but
taste.
I mean, that was CNN that cut her loose, dude. And then the next couple of days, she was like, "Oh, Trump's attacking me." Like, no, you kind of did this to yourself. Like,
yeah,
you got a big head. You forgot that you can't just say whatever the fuck you want.
I mean, you can to an extent, but that's kind of an extreme when you have a president's head.
Yeah.
Because I know they had.
She really needed.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, you're good. You were talking.
I was going to say, because I know people brought up, oh, well, they did with Obama, but they didn't have any celebrities do like stuff like that for Obama. This is like the first time celebrities are acting out.
You know what? That's what I want to bring up is
celebrities are the ones acting out.
If you're like our age, like late 20s, early 30s, maybe even mid 20s, but if you remember Bush being the president at all, and then you remember Obama being president, and now you're in this age where Trump is the president, think of how many times you saw like SNL and in general like talk show hosts and comedians and everybody ripping on Bush.
They ripped him so hard.
And then think about how many times it was like publicly okay to like attack Obama. Because what I mean like attack, I don't mean just like jesting at them doing stupid things that in general people don't like. Because that's what I felt like happened a lot with Obama. The humor was very mild. But
it was all thanks Obama.
Like tongue in cheek.
Thanks Obama. Yeah, super sarcastic. But when it's like George Bush or Trump, it's like, he's fucking Hitler.
Well, I mean, not so much Bush, I think, because he just played like as a dumb, they saw him as like a dumb
George
person.
W. Bush invented Green Day. I know they've been around for like 50 years before that.
Yeah, you're right.
Just saying.
You're right. But it wasn't as like I don't know. Maybe I was too young to realize, but I feel like the Trump thing is like way like exploded more than how Bush was when he was
different. It's very different because we live in a different age where we have
more internet, more social media. Yeah. True.
More contact. We really truly do have more contact with information right now.
So that also just like makes it bigger and bigger and bigger, the issue, because you keep on talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. So
I mean, we're feeding into it right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm okay.
Yeah, way too much access for, and I don't want to call them this, but they're fucking sheep, for them to just follow this one guy who wants to cry about fucking Trump, but Trump hasn't really done anything that bad yet. Oh man, did he say grab him by the pussy? How many times is anybody else talking about somebody's pussy?
Dude, that's
no. Oh, he went golfing? You quit crying. Every other president has gone golfing. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, who was it? I watched that correspondence dinner.
Yeah, I was telling you about
2017 correspondent. Yeah, and Hassan, whatever his fucking name is, the comedian that was up there.
Asid Hassan or whatever his name is.
I don't say that like that. I just don't know his name because I just didn't care to learn his name. But he was up there and was like, "Hey, let him golf because if he's golfing, he's not running the country."
Yeah.
Like, hey, he still kind of is. I mean, he was golfing. He was golfing and hanging out with the Chinese president, just kicking it whenever we bombed the fuck out of Afghanistan. Just saying. We dropped that Moab, and Trump was chilling, drinking fucking martinis.
Well, he doesn't drink, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
He's
Our
drinking virgins.
Dude, hold on. Wait a second. He doesn't drink, dude. Obama was the first president to be public about smoking, which is, I still think that's kind of cool.
I think
But
he has to be. There's no way he's completely sober though.
Bush, yeah, oh yeah.
No.
Bush was
Bush
used
was a
to
drinker.
do coke?
He was alcoholic. Bush
Yeah,
was
oh, yeah.
alcoholic for sure. But there's no way
Oh.
that Trump doesn't have like any type of substance. There's no way.
Yeah, it's probably some kind of
He
like
just hides
pain
it.
or like something like
Prescription
that.
drugs probably.
Yeah, I mean, look, the dude is 71. Okay, he just turned. His birthday was the other day, but he just turned 71. Like, do you know any 70-year-olds that aren't on some kind of fucking medication?
That have or even that have that energy as him. You know, he's like up late at night. What kind of old people are up
We
that
got
late?
spoiled with Obama. We forgot. You know, Obama.
He was young. He was a young chicken. He was like 40 years old when he got to be president.
Yeah, 40-something.
Yeah.
He was a young spring chicken at the ripe young age of 47.
He was right. He was like, yeah, I was
For real.
blowing down last week.
He was a cool president, man. He was like in the shades with the hey.
Oh, hell
you know?
yeah. But you know what he was? You know what he was? He was Bill Clinton version 2.0.
Yo, very much true.
Was.
Except he didn't have a
Very
saxophone or
Yeah,
sex
and
scandal.
no Monica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, show
You
that.
know what? That was okay. That
Show
was
that
okay
shirt for the
because he
camera.
was
By the way,
Oh,
cool.
sure. Yeah, I got you. So this is the shirt I bought.
fuck yeah, boy.
So you can see
Bill Clinton,
Monica
Super
Lewinsky
Predator.
down there
The Super Predator.
on his leg. You can see the crocodile for the Y2K.
A12, dude.
Yeah. Let me stand up so you can get the full.
That's sick as fuck, dog. That is the coolest fuck. Fuck! Alligator?
Yeah.
Well, I was asking him why is
Got the
alligator,
sacks on his back.
and we're like probably because Chris was like probably because of the Gulf War, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, either
Oh,
the Gulf
yeah,
War or Y2K. Because Clinton was around for Y2K. He was right in between that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he's the only president other than Nixon to go through that type of investigation and survive. I mean,
Oh,
Nixon survived, but that's
And now it's
was-
it's Trump's turn.
yeah. But
Nixon
you know what,
dropped
man?
out. Come out.
You know what? The first year for any president is fucking rough. Okay,
Hey,
because it takes people got to get settled in.
the funny thing
You know,
now,
ask Kennedy.
I'm not getting emails from my my certain relative anymore because he's a hardcore Republican. He's sending like all these like anti-Obama emails, and now I'm not
Oh,
getting
wow.
any. I'm like, thank God.
You know, I got fussed at the other day because it was like you just whoever the president is, you just respect him too much. I'm like, I didn't know that was a bad thing. I didn't know it was a bad thing to give the president a fair chance
I mean,
and just jump on everything negative about him. Look, dude,
Right.
at least let him
Trump-
try. You know,
Trump is an old world dude. I would not kick it with him. I would not relax with him. I might would like
Did
spend
you,
some time with him and learn something from him, but
you watched the
I would-
the
wouldn't look up to him.
CNN special of the '80s. Remember?
Yeah, I watched-
Netflix?
I watched the first episode, and after that, I was just like, eh.
Oh, I don't know. I enjoyed them because it was like a look
But
back
yeah,
in the past. They had one of the episodes. I think it was like episode 4, where they were talking about like the lifestyles of the rich and famous, and they had like that guy like lifestyles of rich and famous, and they had Trump on when he was like in his like 30s or something. 40s.
Yeah,
40s.
yeah. If he's 70 now,
Oh, yeah,
then he would have
40s,
been
yeah, you're right.
40 or something. But
No,
but
wait,
you know what?
no.
But you know what? Go ahead.
It would be 30s, 90s, no 80s. Yeah.
No, 80s.
Okay. Yeah. Never mind. Math.
Yeah, but either way, the
was young.
80s was like prime time for Trump.
Yeah.
You know, like he continued to go above and beyond, but later on in life, it was like people wanted to make an issue about his age, but never really did because they were like confused. Like, who cares how rich this guy is or how old this guy is? He's fucking rich.
Yeah.
Trump himself is not worth $1 billion. His name is.
His name. Yeah. Well, that's why.
But I mean, go ahead.
He says on his in that CNN interview or the CNN I love the 80s or not I love the 80s, but it's like basically I love the 80s. He said,
Yeah.
I don't put my name on these buildings because I love myself. I put them on because that's a quality stamp, kind of like a stamp of approval that it's like, the best of its.
Yeah, people forget, dude. He made his name
a brand.
Yeah, because look, he was like a New York mogul. He was like a New York real estate guy in the 70s. So like New York, huge population, I mean, you can account for part of the country knowing who the fuck he is because he was just like a popular real estate guy. And then he moved into the I'm going to become more of a personality kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then a quality name brand kind of thing. Like Trump Hotel. Do you think Trump goes to every one of those? Hell no.
He doesn't.
It's the name of an agency that's like, yeah, we'll give you the loan, but you gotta put our name on it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, like he doesn't. He's not responsible for all those things. They're like autonomous.
Exactly. Well, it's about that time to wrap it up.
Oh shit.
We've been trying not to go too long on these, but. Today's a little longer one, but I think it was a good episode. I think we just lost Chris.
But we just lost Chris.
But Chris, thank you for being on. I know you're not on this podcast.
Chris, thank you so much. We love you.
I'm back. I'm back.
Oh my God, yes, Chris. Thank you.
No Wi-Fi. It's coming back.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
We were just about to wrap it up.
It's been a blast having you on.
Yeah, I do appreciate being on. It was nice, hanging out for a bit on Skype.
I like you because you're one of our older regular contributors, man. You're a little bit more humor centric than some of our other posters. No offense, I love everybody in our thing, but I can always count on Chris to just be like, fuck that. So,
but anyways, thank you for listening to this episode. After this, we'll have a little explanation about what's coming up next. Until then, I'm TJ Wasiuk.
I'm Evan O'Neill.
And that's Chris Dopkant. I love you, and good night.
We love you. Good night.
Hey guys, this is TJ here. Just want to thank you for listening to this week's podcast episode. Just want to give you some reminders. We do have an Instagram account, so if you do have Instagram, please follow us on there. This episode, we're shouting out thewildoutdoorsman.com, brought to you by our good friend Anthony LaMonica. Big ups to you. Like what you're doing. Tell us about it, Evan.
That's right, man. At thewildoutdoorsman.com, you can find all sorts of goodies that you need for hunting, camping, fishing. They got a pretty good archery selection. They got some cool little custom knives and watches and stuff. And they're also having... they have sort of giveaways from time to time. So check them out, thewildoutdoorsman.com. Also, we have some shirts. If you guys are looking for some Two Guys swag, we got our awesome shirts. They could be on a tank top. They can be on a t-shirt. They could be on a sweater. They could be on a polo. Any color you want, just let us know. Shoot Evan or I our email, or even the Two Guys, either the Instagram or the Facebook. Send us a message on there, and we will put you on the next order and hook you up. They are going for about $15 a piece right now for the shirts. Thank you for everyone that's listening right now. We appreciate you. And this week's artist is Oslog and Wesley Parker. That is Austin and Wesley Parker. Check them out down below. We got their SoundClouds. Great. Austin and Wesley both produced a Two Guys rap. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny. Check it out. Having a small talk.
Two guys having a small talk.